Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode. My name is Mystifiq and we are back in Banksia Zoo. And as you can tell, today's animal would be the koala. So we're gonna be working on a koala habitat. And I'm really excited, I guess, to show you. And I'm so sorry that this video took a while, longer than I normally would hope for. But we're back. So let's just get right on into it. Alright, so for the koala habitat, I decided to create the same layout that I did for our kangaroos, a very somewhat not oval layout. And we're gonna do a sunken portion over here, so I'll put the enrichment feeders, the trees as well, and then we'll have an indoor part over here. So I wanted to create like an indoor kind of habitat so that the koalas has a place to hang out outside, but then if they want to go inside, that's that option as well. So that's the whole idea for this habitat. And what we plan, or what I plan to do is put some glass barriers over here as well, so when you're a guest and you're walking in, you don't just see a wall. You'll see you'll be able to see inside the habitat already, and then you can like walk around this way, and then you get to see more of the habitat. So what I'm gonna be using to create this indoor housing area would be the Australia wood once again, and I think I'm gonna place this here, and then I'm gonna leave room for the door, so I think I'll put that there for the keeper door, and then I'll put this 1 meter roof pieces over here, so that when we put the glass barrier, we kind of have like a nice border for it, so it's not just the glass barrier and then it doesn't look like it's flashing with the wall. It looks like two separate pieces. So that's what I plan to do. I am going to be building off the grid for this one as well, because as you can tell, my path layout is not a rectangle, so that means the grid system is not going to be our friend. It's not going to be our friend for sure. I wish there would be a way to kind of build on the grid but at a diagonal. That would be really nice. But I don't know when that day will come. Okay, let me take a look and see. I think this is like this is enough. Like, it's enough glass viewing area for the indoor shelter for them, and then we'll just round it off here once more with the full wall piece. There we go. We'll continue this way, and then make sure we leave a large enough gap for the koalas to be able to leave, because I tend to notice that sometimes, depending on the animal size, like, I mean, I'm sure the koalas are small enough, but you know, sometimes you don't leave a wide enough gap and then you don't realize it, and then they're trapped in their heart shelter forever. And then you're like left wondering, like, what's wrong? What did I do wrong? Why is the game alerting me to an issue of space? I have had that happen to me several times, so I think this would be wide enough. I wish there could be like a door, like a proper doors that the animals can walk in and out from. I notice now, and if you play Planet Zoo as well, you can correct me, but what I've noticed is that these wall pieces have been, or rather the door pieces have not been like, they don't allow my animals to walk through them anymore. Like, the animals, or maybe that's just a thing, because I've never really experimented with the doors a lot in this game, but I can no longer place a door and expect the animals to walk through it, right? Like the guests. So the guests can walk through doors and stuff, but not the animals. And I think maybe that has just always been a thing. I just never realized it, and I thought the animals work the same as the guests, but no, they don't. So if you're thinking of putting a door there, unfortunately, the animals are not gonna walk through. Okay, this is a rather big shelter. I'm wondering if I should cut it down actually, because they don't need that much space. I think what I'm gonna do is, although we did all of that work, I think I will cut it down a bit, because sometimes it's not necessary to have like such a big indoor space for them, at least in my opinion. Like if you want to make it big, go for it, but I feel like it's too big. I just feel like it's too big for my taste. So I will continue this like so. There we go. I think we can shift the door area as well. Move this piece closer so it flashes. Okay, it's not gonna work. So I guess like the main tip I suppose for this episode would be not to be afraid of building off the grid. I know some people, especially if you're a beginner, would want to stick on the grid because it's very easy, right? But sometimes you realize that if you want to get a certain piece in a certain position, the grid does not work half the time. So don't be afraid, I would say, of having to work off the grid. Okay. And yes, I know it's not straight, so we are gonna fix that as well. I know if I don't fix it, Zeta, a follower and the moderator of my streaming channel, my Twitch channel, will get mad at me. All right, so we've finalized the shape of this build, right? So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the door, I'm gonna add the barrier, and then I am gonna add the roof as well. So I'll see you guys back after that. Alright guys, so slight issues I ran into whilst recording this. I'm so sorry guys, but I'm done with the roof right now, and I'll show you guys what I've done with the roof. But I've actually added a bit more to the habitat that I thought I recorded, but unfortunately I did not. So I will go through this right now. I'm so sorry guys. I wish I could like just redo this whole thing, but it's gonna take me forever to do it. But okay, so what I've done is, for the roof, I used a flat roof. I used the same one that we have been using throughout this whole zoo, and this is the vertical wooden plank roof flat. And I find that if it's an odd shaped building like this over here, it's better to have a flat roof, because you're not gonna have to struggle and deal with, you know, whether the other roof pieces like these slanted ones would fit nicely and how do you work it. So I would recommend to, you know, to save the hassle of pulling your hair out and figuring out whether this works or not, I would just recommend doing a flat roof instead. And then for the leaves, I put leaves on top over here because I thought it will add texture to the roof as well, and because you have trees here, it makes I feel like it makes sense that the leaves would fall and maybe land on here, and then the keepers, the caretakers just didn't clean it yet. So I use the arrowwood bush, and I also used a bit of the ivy as well as the habitat bedding for your animals to create some sort of like fallen leaves as well. And I did the same thing on the floor over here, where I took the smallest sized bedding and then I pulled it down really close to the ground just to get a few individual leaves. And I think this is like a cute detail. Like it adds like very minute details, I guess, to the game and to your zoo, that maybe, oh, some leaves has fallen, and once again, you know, maybe the caretakers didn't clean it up yet, or maybe it's just left there, you know. And I feel like it adds something. I also added some decoration like this koala wall piece here, and then this wall hanging plants. I was like, what's the word for it? Wall hanging plants. And I thought, you know, it looks quite cute. Like, so I use, this is the African beet, and this is just the basket, the East Asian basket. And then I used the soil from the nature section, and I added to the walls. Now, I don't know if this is accurately correct in terms of whether these plants grow on the walls or not, but I mean, for aesthetic purposes, I think it looks quite cute. And then I've added this barrier. So this is the same barrier you guys have seen in the cassowary habitat, and I just added it all around the build, and then I moved in the koalas and put in some of the enrichment stuff. So I wished I had recorded this, like I wish I checked, but unfortunately I did not. But really, all of these custom fencing can be seen in my cassowary videos, so you can just go ahead and check that out. And then I mentioned in what I thought I was recording that I kind of cut corners here, and I didn't want to continue doing the rest of the path, like following the path, because I was lazy. And so I cut corners, I pushed this back a bit, and then I just covered this whole area with rocks and plants as well, because, you know, it's I feel like it's a very fast and simple method. And if you don't want to show things in the game, or you're kind of lazy to cover it up properly, just add plants and rocks. And plus it looks nice, you know. I feel like it looks nice. It adds something. It's not just wooden, or rather, sorry, a cement and fenced wall all around. And then the last thing I did was actually inside here. So what I've added is these cherry blossom plants, sorry, tree bark, I mean. And now the koalas don't like cherry blossoms, but as I've said before, you can put any type of plant inside the habitat because it does not affect the welfare of the animal that much. The things that does affect the welfare of the animal a lot would be like its social group, its space, its climbing requirements, etc. But not plants, not necessarily plants. So the idea is I'm gonna create like a cute climbing area for them to hang out and stuff if they want to climb, and then just kind of, yeah, add a bit more life to this area so it does not look so plain and boring. And then we'll do a bit more landscaping here as well, and all of this will be a time lapse because I think it'll just take a really long time if I talk as I do it. So it will all be a time lapse, and I will see you guys right after the time lapse. Alright, so what I'm starting with in the time-lapse is creating the climbing platform for the koalas because I didn't put enough trees yet. And I just thought, you know, it'd be cute. Like, this is like their play area somewhere where they can hang out, have fun climbing, eating, chilling if they don't want to be in the hot sun in the zoo. And I also thought it's a good practice for me to create climbing frames because it's something that I don't do a lot, and I think it's also because I don't add animals in my zoo that require these frames. Like I really have not put a lot of monkeys or lemurs in my zoo at all, so you know, it's something I could definitely work on. But I really like how it turned out. It's very simple, but you know, it works well, I feel. And then I like to put it on the trees over there, like, you know, they can climb the tree and just sit there maybe if they wanted to. And I copied another tree on this side to create something similar once more, putting the like a platform there, and then like making it extend towards the tree so that the koalas could definitely move from the platform to the tree if they so prefer to do it. So you guys have been seeing me just placing rocks down here and there, and I've been trying to use a wide variety of rocks, like rocks from different of different color rather. So I'm using the 2 different desert rocks in this enclosure, and I think it's something hard, I would say, making like or knowing how to blend the rocks together, especially because they're different color. And I am in that comfort zone where I do like to use the same rocks for everything. I generally don't mix and match my rocks, but I am trying to, and I feel like it makes I don't know, it makes it look different, I think. Like, you know, it's the same in like real life. Rocks are not all the same color. They're not all gray. They're like dark gray. Some of them are like darker brown. Some of them are like lighter gray, you know. And I thought, you know, I should try and reflect that, you know, it's not as if like we just bought the same rocks in the zoo and we just dump it all there. Like, make it seem a bit more natural, kind of like in the wild. You would have separate rocks for sure, like separate rocks of separate colors. Now over here, I tried using these wall decorations again, and I still somehow can't. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to make it look nice. I haven't thought of a way. But I did like the surfboard. So I took the surfboard and then my education signboard that I made. And I thought it'd be cute together, you know, like it kind of adds more to the education board, that it's not just the sign, like there is like some decoration or illustration next to it. And I made sure to put it in a place that I felt like it does not necessarily block the view of the enclosure. And then over here I put more viewing education signboards, more education signboards, and decorating a bit more. And I put this one in front of the tree because I feel like it doesn't block the view. Or if you are in front of the tree and the koala comes, you can look at the koala and read the education facts at the same time, which I really like. Alright guys, so I think I feel quite happy with it. Like, I feel maybe I could add more plants, maybe here, around here also, but I'm quite happy with how it looks, really. Like, you know, we have our 2 toys over here, water drinking over here. You look at this view, it's not bad. Look over here, and I purposely put this here because the tree's here, so I feel like if I put my education sign and stuff in front of the tree, it won't block as much. And because the tree's already blocking something, but if you stand here, you could see them. Maybe they'll come up here and eat. Then if you go around this way, of course, our indoor viewing area with these building stuff over here. I tried to make like it not as green inside in a way, because, well, I mean, apart from that, I suppose I could remove that, but because, you know, then there's not like a lot of sunlight in here, so I don't think a lot of things would grow necessarily. And then keep more of the greenery outside of here, and it looks like everyone's coming to see our new koalas already. But yeah, guys, I think this is where I will leave you guys. I hope you maybe felt inspired on how to do your own. Ooh, for clipping through the ground. But I hope you feel inspired on how to do your own koala habitat, possibly. Maybe this gives you an idea of how to create an indoor-outdoor area for them, you know. maybe an indoor area for them to sleep and play with, like climbing equipment, and an outdoor area that's mostly focusing on trees and stuff like that. Oh, you're so cute. And then I also hope that the other tips that you may have picked up helped as well. So I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And if you want to see more Planet Zoo content, I do stream on Twitch quite frequently. You can head on over to my Twitch, which is linked below, as well as my schedule. Everything is there. And so it would be wonderful to see you guys. If not, I will see you all in the next episode of Banksia Zoo. Bye bye!